Hey baddies, today we're going to be talking over the barbell squat. This is a very beginner-friendly tutorial, very basic. That way, if this is your very first time lifting, you are trying to figure out the ropes and how to work with the barbell, this video is for you. Barbell placement. When we are looking to place our barbell in a rack or any sort of structure that is going to be holding the barbell itself, we're looking to place that barbell, just below those shoulders. The idea is you do not want it so high or so low that you feel like you have to squat to unrack it, all right? We don't want to expend energy that we do not have, or we don't want to get up on our tippy toes to get it out of that rack. So a good point of reference is just right above the chest, right below the shoulders. That tends to be a very good spot for your barbell height. So when we are looking at our stance for our barbell squat, we want those feet to be about shoulder width apart. My ladies, given our anatomy, we might want to angle those feet out just a little bit. Now, when we are talking about depth in the squat, there is parallel and then there is breaking parallel. The one thing we never want to do in a squat is go ahead and give me that quarter rep. That is not a full squat, and especially in this program, we are looking to go to parallel, if not breaking parallel. If you are not a competitor or you're not gonna compete in powerlifting, it is okay to just go to parallel. I'm okay with that. So in that squat, there are two places. Parallel, going down to parallel means the top of your knee and that hip joint are parallel, meaning they run parallel to the floor. So that is parallel. Then breaking parallel is when that top of the knee is actually above that hip joint, where you're at a slightly decrease. If this is my hip joint, you're just below that top of the knee. So again, parallel, below parallel. Approaching the bar. When figuring out your hand placement, a good starter point, again, I'm talking to beginners here, is this knurling, this rough part of the barbell, and then this inner part is nice and smooth. I use the knurling as an indicator. So I'm going to take the rule of thumb going to the edge of that knurling on both sides, and that is where I place my hands. So one thumb length away. There are two different bar placements on your back that you can use. For my beginners, I'm going to suggest using a higher barbell placement rather than low bar, just beginning out. So I'm going to go ahead and turn around and show you what the difference is between both of those. High bar, that barbell is resting right on your traps. So now talking about our second barbell placement, it's actually going to be rested on your posterior delts, so a little bit lower on that upper back. And again, if you are a more experienced lifter and you want to play around high bar versus that low bar, you have the freedom to do so. But if you are a beginner, I do suggest starting with that high bar squat. Now, approaching the barbell once you are in this position. What I'm going to do is move my hair over to the front. If you are a longer haired friend and you have it in a ponytail, you don't want that barbell pulling your neck back. That could jack with your form and cause injury. So go ahead and move that to the front. And now I'm going to take one step forward. I'm going to demonstrate high bar. I don't normally lift high bar, so excuse me. I'm going to take one step forward, another step forward, stand up. Now that barbell height should be at a perfect height where you don't feel like you are doing a ton of work just to get to this point. You shouldn't have it so low where you have to basically do a full squat to get it up. Now, you should be back into the squat position within 3 steps. You do not want to waste a ton of time walking backwards, forwards, feet going out, feet going in. That is a waste of energy. So once you get into that standing position, 3 steps. 1, 2, and then that third position is just making sure my feet are wherever they need to be. That is my third and final position. So again, standing up from that squat rack, boom, 1, 2, make sure my feet are good to go and placed where I normally squat. And it's going to take a lot of repetition to get into the groove of it, but the less movement you can have prior to actually doing your working set, the better. From here, I'm going to go ahead and do my squats. I do not want my elbows flared back because that is going to cause me to fall forward. I want a nice neutral spine. I'm gonna tuck those elbows forward, make sure everything is nice and tight, neutral spine. Go ahead, break parallel or go to parallel. Then from here, re-racking, it is just a 1-step, 2-step, and then lean into the bar. You're not gonna tip over your squat rack. You're not going to injure it by any means. Lean into it. Make sure the J-hook's got you, or whatever modality is holding your barbell for you. And that is the barbell squat. Now, start to finish, I'm going to do a couple reps, and I'm going to talk through it as I go. So, making sure that barbell is again right above my chest, just below my shoulders. Thumbs length apart from the knurling. I'm gonna move my hair over to the front. 1 step, 2 step, stand up. Make sure my elbows are tucked forward, and I'm gonna do my 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3. From here, nice deep breath. And squat it down, up. I'm gonna do one more rep, up. And then re-racking. Step forward, lean into it, and down. So that is the barbell squat, win in the rack. If you have any questions, let me know.